Good morning everyone, Kingsley here again. I'm at Chatsworth once again. Kathy and I have come down for the weekend. I've not been here on a weekend before. But I want to answer the question this morning. It's Sunday morning early, I'm out for a run. And somebody asked me the question, trail or road? Is it better to run on a road or better to find a trail? And actually there's not an easy answer to that. It's not a simple one or the other, but I want to try and look at some of the issues around that this morning. But first, let's go for a run. Wow. Well, I've just stopped and I'll show you what I've run just in a few moments. But I'm asking the question today, road or trail? And there are positive and negatives for both. First of all, the road. Well, number one, the road's convenient. So if you live in a town, you live in a city, you live in a village, then you just put on your trainers, warm up and get out on the road and you're there instantly. Now that's a big advantage because sometimes it's the preparation to get you going that knocks people off that just couldn't be bothered. So number one is convenience. Number two is that usually it's very safe, and safety makes up a big lot of what I want to say today. The second thing is safety, because usually if you're in a town or a city or a village, then it'll be lit up and you'll be able to run along roads that generally speaking are lit up if you're within a 30-mile-an-hour limit, and most towns are, or 20. And so that's safety. Plus people can see you. You'll be running probably with people. Even if you're on your own, you'll pass a lot of people, generally speaking, unless you're running in the middle of the night. Now, on the non-safety side, the danger side, should I say, is that I see a lot of people running on the road with headphones on. So if you're going to use headphones, and I understand that because I find road running very boring, if you're going to use headphones, then just use one. Get Bluetooth headphones and use one of them. I've nearly run over several people. A girl walked right out in front of me. She wasn't running, but she was wearing her headphones in North Allerton at the traffic lights, and she didn't have the green light. I had green, but she walked right out in front of me and didn't even notice that I had to brake hard. And so that because she was distracted with her headphones. So be very careful if you're on the road. So it's easy, it's convenient, and it'll get you fit. But for me, it's dead boring. I've just come along a run, and I just want to show you this. And I'm actually behind Chatsworth. If you could see behind me, I'm actually on a hill called Standwood at the back of Chatsworth. You can't see it, but I can when I stand up. But this is beautiful. Just watch this. So that's part of my run this morning. I walked it last night, so I've got an idea where I'm going. Not totally sure. I'm on a new bit now, but I came up and sort of looked out the area last night. I looked on the map and saw roughly where I was going, and so I'm finding where I'm going this morning. So this is the running on the trail. I've always been a trail runner. Anytime I can get running in the hills, that's where I go. And it's the excitement of it, the fun of it. Every time you go round a corner, it's a new vista, something new to see. It's exciting running in the woods. It's soft on the feet. It's just beautiful. Now I came up some very dangerous steps, as you saw in that run, and so there's a lot of things I want to point out that are dangerous running off-road. First of all, I always talk about your shoes. You've got to have good shoes because it can be very slippy, and I'm on a slippy road today. The second thing is, if you're running and it can get dark, then you need to have a head torch. You can take a head torch with you. I have a head torch that I use if it gets dark, and it's brilliant. People think I look silly, but it's actually brilliant to be able to see where you're going. You need to take extra precautions with you. I've got my phone with me, but then I need to know that the phone has got a signal wherever I go. So if it's a place I've been to before, I know that the signal will work. I need to tell somebody where I've gone. And if it's somewhere, if you use a watch, I have a watch here that I can then print out the route that I've taken. So if it's a route I've taken before, I can leave that with somebody so they know where I am. I always tell people where I'm going because I've fallen so many times. So it's important to do that. You maybe, if it's a long run, you need to take some replenishment with you. I take liquid gels and I take water with me. I have sometimes a backpack if it's a long run, and today I've got this type of a pack around my waist that I have my keys in, and I have whatever else I need. If you buy a proper water pack, it'll probably have a whistle on it that you can attract attention if you get into difficulty. But generally I'm speaking trail runs. I'm not doing long trail runs. Now there are dangers in them, and I've tried to mitigate against them with carrying my phone, carrying something to attract attention, carrying something to replenish, maybe some plasters if you get blisters on your feet, depending on how far you're going. But there's a danger side of it, because if you're running remote, I wouldn't want my wife or daughter to be running out where I run. And that's not a sexist comment. It's purely during the pandemic, there's been a massive increase, a multiplication of people who've been stalked during the pandemic. I don't know why that is, but that's what the statistics say that I've read or seen on the news. And so I would say to people, if you're out running and you're not confident or strong in yourself, then you need to be running with people. It's always better to run with people if you can. It's more fun to run with a group. I can't do that, generally speaking, because I'm traveling so much, so I go off on my own and it's spontaneous. But if you are, particularly if you're a vulnerable person, you need to have somebody with you and make sure that you're protected that way. But running in the open air is wonderful. And whether it's a road or whether it's trail or a mixture of both, I tend to be a boring as far as when I run, in that I tend to run some of the same routes all the time. But I'm out on my own and I love it. I don't wear headphones because I want to hear the pheasants. I'm hearing the birds this morning. I want to hear the sheep and I want to enjoy it as I go. So trail or run, well, really that's up to you. Another advantage of doing a trail run is the exercise that you get. If you look here, this is quite, well, it's not really, well, yes, it is steep. So I mean, if I fall off that, I'm going to do some serious difficulty. But to get up here, I had to run up some quite steep hills. Some of them I walked a little bit because I was on the slippery steps again, and they were incredibly dangerous. So there's no way you could run them, particularly holding a phone, which is stupid anyway, but I'm doing it for the video. But one of the things that running off-road does for you is I'm going up hills, I'm going down hills, I'm crossing through gates, I'm climbing over rocks. And so from an exercise point of view, I'm working my quads, I'm working my hamstrings, I'm working my calves, I'm taking in a lot of fresh air when I'm here. I'm not breathing in any fumes. So for me, as much as I've said it's up to the individual, of course it is. You might feel safer and enjoy working from home, doing some road running. But if you can do it and can get into a trail run, the excitement level multiplies. I hate road running personally, so for me there's no question in it. But I would encourage people, you get to see the countryside, and we've got some incredible parks, as you know. I've run through a few of them here in the UK, and as I travel worldwide I go through some beautiful parks, places where you can run, and it's wonderful. And so I would encourage you, whether you run road or whether you run trail, just go and do it. Hit the road, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Finally, before I go, please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and then there'll be many more coming your way soon.